want to go ahead and with questions, Amelia?
Questions, go ahead and drop those in the chat. We'll start with Chris Fastnet.
Hey, Fred, what did you maybe see tonight that was different from the first time you played these guys? Was it just maybe the lack of being able to get anything going offensively?
I never thought we got into a rhythm tonight, Chris. And, I thought early on, you look at our numbers, I thought we played much more selfish than we had been. And we just couldn't get anything going. We got a group out there, I thought, that had some good movement going, got us back in the game. I think we cut it to 6 with about right before the first media in the second half. And then we had the flagrant and just kind of went downhill from there. We did cut it back to 11 on a couple of different occasions, but we just couldn't climb back in to that game, cut it to single digits to give ourselves a chance. The keys we talked about going into this one were taking care of the ball. We just continue to have careless, mindless turnovers driving into the pile. And, problem is I take a guy out for it and I put the next guy in and he does the same damn thing. So, it's frustrating, to continue to see that happen. The second half was a little better. I think we had 5 in the second half, but you turn it over 12 times in the first half and you dig yourself such a hole, and I think we had 3 assists. We'd been getting much better movement, but it wasn't there tonight. Our edge or, the juice that you have to play with against a team like this coming off a loss. We knew they were going to come out, foaming at the mouth, and we just didn't match their energy, I thought, early in it. We rebounded well in the first half, gave them 3 offensive rebounds, but that was a big factor in the second half. And then Kofi, if he had a lane to the basket, we were going to try to make him earn it and give him credit. He knocked down his free throws tonight after going 3 for 11 the other night against Michigan State.
Robin Washington.
Hey, with Teddy after his stellar night 2 nights ago, 5 points on 6 shots, what did you see from him that maybe led to that drop-off in production?
Well, again, I thought a lot of it was we weren't getting into our actions early in the game, and I thought Teddy really got in the flow. That's what got him going the other night. And then you break it off and you try to take a couple really tough shots when you don't have a rhythm. He let it come to him the other night, and that's where he had that huge half at 28.5 and obviously 41 for the game. But we just never got it going. And Kofi was sitting in the lane in the middle, and we were just continued to challenge him. But they were fronting him, and when they fronted him, he went all the way out almost to the 3-point line, and then you're in an ISO situation. This team's hard to run ISOs against. They're just too big and long, and they guard the ball too well. Again, as I said to the team, when we move it, we get good shots, and that's what got us back in that game, and got us back to within 6 in the second half. But then we went right back to it, and again took some really tough, difficult shots. So, again, I saw as the game wore on, we just continued to fatigue, and give Illinois credit. They came out ready to go tonight, and I didn't think we were as good or sharp as we needed to be.
And I know in that Penn State game towards the end, he was holding his wrist on his shooting hand. Is he healthy at all? Was that an issue at all?
He's battling a wrist. There's no doubt about it. He's been having it for quite a while to where it's really been bothering him. When he gets hit and it gets extended backwards, he's in a lot of pain. Practices, we're not doing a lot right now just because I have to try and give the guys some kind of legs heading into these games. But when he gets hit in that wrist, he feels it immediately. And, I give Teddy credit for battling through it.
Sam Kieran.
Hey, when things get out of whack on offense, who do you lean on that team? Like, who are the guys that you immediately appeal to try to get people back on track, and why maybe didn't that happen tonight?
Honestly, Thor's a guy that cuts so hard and makes things happen. He cut up high, threw right back to Teddy, little boomerang action. Teddy got a basket off of it, those types of plays. But, again, the trust level of that, things were going really well the other night, obviously, with Teddy having it going. We scored 70. I didn't think it was a great rhythm game for us. We gave up 86. That's what we need to talk about. I thought defensively, we were early on in that game, at the transition, they beat us down the floor. And, again, we battled them on the rebounds in the first half, but second half they got too many of them. So, listen, if you score 70, you should have a chance to win. You just can't give up 86, especially on the road.
That's just a good team. Illinois seemed to play pretty well tonight without their best player.
Well, they are the 5th-ranked team in the country, Sam. So, yeah, I'd say they're a very good team. And, listen, Kofi's a unbelievably difficult matchup, and especially when he's knocking down free throws like he was tonight. And then Miller got it going. I thought we had a couple closeouts. We didn't quite have the urgency that we needed, to make him put it on the floor. We talked to our guards. Over 70% of their shots, with those perimeter guys are threes, and you got to make them do something they're not used to doing. And then I thought, Curbelo had an unbelievable game. He controlled it, and almost ends up with a triple-double. But again, just the overall urgency early in that game, Sam, you could see it. It wasn't where it needed to be.
Colin Lucas.
Hey, Fred. You actually just mentioned Curbelo and Miller. Can you speak a little bit more on what makes them so challenging to play against? What makes them so difficult to stop?
Well, Curbelo, he's so dynamic on the floor, and he does a great job. The old Steve Nash probing across the baseline where he finds guys. We were going to keep our guy home, chase him underneath the basket and stay home on the shooters and underneath. And I thought we helped a couple times, as opposed to trying to make him finish over length at the basket. But, he does such a good job. He's got an incredible feel. I watched him in a high school game last year. We went out to New Jersey back in the old days when we were able to recruit. I went out and saw a game, and I was just so impressed with his feel and command of the game. And then Miller was just too comfortable. He got a couple shots early where, again, we didn't run him off the line with near enough urgency, and that's what you have to do, is try to make him make those mid-range shots. But he had it going in that first half. Again, it was too easy for him.
Michael Bruns.
Fred, you've mentioned that the defensive part of it tonight, that was also kind of an issue against Penn State too. I mean, you kind of see, I guess, what the issues been in the last couple of games, because that was one thing that you guys are doing pretty well post COVID break. I mean, what's kind of the change been there?
Well, one thing, we're just giving them too many points off of turnovers, and that's where it starts. I think they had 25 Penn State on us the other night. They get 14 on us tonight. That's just giving them free points when you can't take care of the basketball. Offensive rebounds, we're getting hurt on second chance points. They outscore us 12-4 on second chance points. We're not getting many offensive rebounds right now, and we're getting exposed in transition. That can't happen. So we got to get back. I thought for a stretch we did a pretty good job, but early on, when you have to establish the tempo of the game and get back and force the team into the half court, we didn't do as good a job as we needed to, and that's where they get comfortable. That's where they get confident. And then next you look at the end of the game and they got 86 points. So the urgency early, it's got to improve.
All right, any last questions?
Thank you.
All right.
Here in just a second.